In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 17, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Browns versus New Orleans Saints. As we approach Week 11 of the NFL season, football fans have an intriguing lineup of games to anticipate. Among these matchups, we'll zero in on the Cleveland Browns versus New Orleans Saints game. Both teams have endured a tough season so far, with Cleveland sitting at a disappointing 2-7 record and New Orleans only slightly better at 3-7. The odds makers in Las Vegas have given the Browns a slight edge, marking them as narrow road favorites with a -1 spread. The Browns head into this game fresh off their bye week, which followed a lopsided loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. Cleveland's struggles on the road are evident, as they have managed just 1 win in 4 away games this season. Meanwhile, the Saints hold a 2-3 record at home and are coming off a morale-boosting victory over the Atlanta Falcons that snapped their losing streak. A rejuvenated New Orleans team seems ready to build on that momentum, especially now that quarterback Derek Carr is back in action and looking healthy. Carr showed significant improvement in the win against Atlanta, shaking off the rust that had been apparent in his first game back, which ended in a narrow 1-point loss. His performance against the Falcons was sharp and should inspire confidence as the Saints prepare to take on a struggling Browns squad. Cleveland, on the other hand, has continued to falter, evidenced by their recent 17-point blowout loss at home against the Chargers. That game was marred by quarterback Jameis Winston's 3 interceptions, showcasing the Browns' inability to find consistent offensive rhythm. Conversely, the Saints' defense has been solid enough this season to contain an offense as ineffective as Cleveland's, which ranks as the 2nd worst in the league. With Carr leading the charge, New Orleans' offense appears poised to capitalize on Cleveland's vulnerabilities. While neither team inspires overwhelming confidence, the Saints, with their more dynamic offense and home field advantage, seem to have a higher ceiling in this matchup. Thus, the New Orleans Saints to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Over the last 4 games for each team, only one contest would have surpassed the projected total of 44.5 points set for Sunday. Even with Derek Carr back at quarterback, the lone game that exceeded this threshold barely did so, finishing with a total of 45 points. Cleveland's offensive struggles are glaring. They've scored the 2nd fewest points in the league this season. Winston's recent performance, featuring 3 interceptions, coupled with Nick Chubb's underwhelming return, where he has averaged just 2.7 yards per carry, indicates that offensive improvements are unlikely in this game. While Carr's presence provides a boost to the Saints' offense, the absence of Chris Olave limits their scoring potential. Notably, New Orleans has not exceeded 22 points in a game since Carr's return. For these reasons, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Detroit Lions. We have an action-packed Sunday of NFL football ahead, featuring an intriguing early matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. The last time these teams clashed was in 2022, a game where Detroit dominated with a commanding 40-14 victory on their home turf. In the analysis below, I'll examine the current form of both teams, highlight key players, and conclude with my predictions and picks for the game, including insights on the spread and total. The Jacksonville Jaguars have struggled mightily this season, managing to secure only 2 wins thus far. The current 14-point spread reflects the absence of quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who is sidelined for this game. In his place, Mac Jones took the reins last week, throwing 2 interceptions, adding to the team's woes. Jacksonville has lost 4 of its last 5 games, revealing glaring issues on both sides of the ball. Conversely, the Detroit Lions have been a powerhouse this season, with just 1 loss on their record. Their resilience was on full display last week when they orchestrated a thrilling comeback victory over the Houston Texans, solidifying their position at the top of the National Football Conference standings. Defensively, Jacksonville has been exposed repeatedly, a troubling trend against a Detroit offense that thrives on exploiting weaknesses. The Jaguars' secondary has been particularly vulnerable, ranking 30th in passing yards allowed. This creates a prime opportunity for Jared Goff, who typically rebound strongly after a poor performance. With the Jaguars' defense struggling against the pass and their rushing defense ranked 20th, Detroit's versatile playmakers, including Jahmyr Gibbs, are set to shine. Detroit's dominance is further underscored by their ability to secure lopsided victories, with 4 of their last 6 wins coming by double-digit margins. Jared Goff is unlikely to replicate last week's turnover-heavy performance, where he gave the ball away 5 times. This game has all the makings of a blowout, and the outcome appears inevitable regardless of whether the Jaguars start Lawrence or Jones. The Lions are averaging an impressive 32 points per game and are well equipped to deliver another high-scoring performance. Meanwhile, the Jaguars' offense is unlikely to exceed 10 points, paving the way for a comfortable Lions victory. All signs point to Detroit winning and covering the spread as favorites. While Jacksonville has shown flashes of offensive competence this season, last week was an exception. The Jaguars have scored 23 or more points in 4 of their last 6 games, demonstrating some offensive potential. On the other hand, the Lions have conceded an average of 21 points across their 4 home games this season, which provides some hope for Jacksonville's attack. However, Jacksonville's defense has been abysmal, surrendering 28 or more points in 4 of their last 6 games, including 35 points against the Chicago Bears and 28 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Detroit's offense, particularly potent at home, has scored 30 or more points in 4 of their last 6 games, including explosive outputs of 42 and 52 points in their previous 2 home outings. The over is 5-1 in Detroit's last 6 games against AFC South opponents, highlighting a trend of high-scoring affairs. There is a plausible scenario where the Lions surpass 42 points on their own. Remarkably, they've scored 42 or more points in a third of their games this season and are currently averaging 32 points per game. This matchup is particularly favorable for Detroit's offense, given the Jaguars' defensive struggles. Jacksonville ranks 31st in completion rate allowed, 30th in both yards allowed per attempt and passing yards allowed per game, and 29th in passing touchdowns conceded. Additionally, their red zone defense is ranked 23rd, permitting opponents to score touchdowns on 60.5% of red zone trips. The Lions have shown no hesitation in running up the score against overmatched opponents, and this game is poised to be another scoring onslaught. Given the circumstances, this game is likely to feature a barrage of points, with Detroit's offense leading the charge. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. One of the National Football League's most storied rivalries is set to continue this Sunday when the Green Bay Packers travel to face the Chicago Bears. The Packers currently hold a respectable 6-3 record and remain in contention for the National Football Conference North title, still chasing the division-leading Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, the Bears have struggled mightily, enduring 3 consecutive losses that have dropped their record to 4-5, signaling a season teetering on the edge. The much-anticipated debut season of Caleb Williams, the #1 overall pick in this year's NFL Draft, has not lived up to expectations in Chicago. Williams entered the league with immense hype, not only because of his draft status but also due to the advantageous situation he inherited as a rookie quarterback. Unlike most top draft picks who land with rebuilding teams, Williams joined a roster featuring a veteran running back and 2 elite wide receivers, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, providing him with a solid foundation for success. Comparatively, rookies like Drake May in New England entered far more challenging environments. However, Williams has struggled to adapt, with the Bears slipping to 4-5 after Week 10, including a 3rd consecutive loss at the hands of May and the Patriots. The loss prompted the firing of offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, indicating deeper systemic issues within the Bears organization. As questions mount regarding whether Williams should continue starting, the team's future appears increasingly uncertain. The Packers, on the other hand, are coming off a bye week in Week 10, giving them a chance to rest and reset for the remainder of the season. Before their break, Green Bay had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a hard-fought loss to the Lions in Week 9. Despite the setback, the Packers entered this matchup with a solid 6-3 record, and bookmakers favor them to secure another victory in Chicago. Green Bay is listed as 5.5-point favorites for Sunday's game, a testament to their consistency and offensive prowess. Led by quarterback Jordan Love, the Packers boast one of the most productive offenses in the NFL, ranking 9th in points per game. Impressively, they have scored 24 or more points in 6 of their last 7 outings, a trend that positions them as formidable opponents against a struggling Bears team. Chicago's downward spiral can be traced back to their heartbreaking loss to the Washington Commanders on a last-second Hail Mary. Since then, the Bears' offense has been abysmal, failing to score a touchdown on 23 consecutive offensive drives, a streak that dates back to Week 8. 28 and is currently the longest active drought in the league. Their offensive line has been a glaring weakness, allowing 15 sacks over the last 2 games, including a staggering 9 in their Week 10 defeat to New England. While the team has made changes, including firing their offensive coordinator, the likelihood of a significant turnaround in just 1 week appears slim. Chicago ranks 25th in rushing yards per game and in first downs, further highlighting their offensive struggles. Given the Bears' ongoing issues, it's advisable to bet against them in this matchup. So the Green Bay Packers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Additionally, while quarterback Jordan Love appeared slightly hampered by a groin strain in Week 9, the bye week should have allowed him to recover fully. Green Bay, which ranks 7th in passing yards, is expected to lean heavily on its 3rd-ranked rushing offense to dominate time of possession and control the tempo of the game. In stark contrast, Chicago's offense has been one of the worst in the league, averaging just 277.7 total yards per game and 19.4 points per game. The Bears also sit in the bottom 3 for yards per play, 3rd down conversion percentage, and sacks allowed. With a home crowd likely growing restless at Soldier Field, the Bears face an uphill battle. For these reasons, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.